Today on Campaign Check, the Conservatives promise to get Brexit done. If Boris Johnson wins a majority on Thursday, he says he'll ask Parliament to approve the withdrawal agreement before Christmas. And on January the 31st, the UK will leave the EU. So in the narrowest sense, Brexit will be done. But we will not be done with Brexit. Having agreed to leave, the UK will then be in a transition period in which EU rules still apply until December 2020. That gives the Prime Minister just 11 months to negotiate and ratify a trade deal with the EU. And in fact, the timetable is even shorter, because if the UK wanted to extend the transition, a decision has to be made at the start of July. Now, the PM insists he won't ask for an extension, but he said that about extending EU membership beyond October the 31st this year. So will he do it again? Recent EU trade negotiations suggest a deal will take much longer. Deals with Ukraine and South Korea took 9 years. A deal with Canada, considered the model for the UK, took 7. And deals with Japan and Singapore took 5 years each, all of which suggests 11 months is heroically ambitious and arguably unrealistic. The UK and the EU both want a free trade agreement, but a deal will be hugely complex with numerous issues to resolve. In exchange for zero tariffs to help manufacturing, the EU will want trade-offs for access to its markets. The UK wants to move away from EU regulation, but divergence, as it's known, is likely to lead to more checks and more red tape. For example, if the UK changed standards for food to help a separate deal with the US, the EU might want to prevent access. Scores of other issues like access to UK fishing waters, the NHS, security, service industries and energy could all be in play. And even if all of that is resolved, the deal will still have to be ratified by EU Parliament and here at Westminster. All of this matters because the EU accounts for 49% of UK trade. And if there's no deal and no transition, the current EU-UK relationship would fall away with dramatic consequences for the economy. Boris Johnson's campaign has been built on delivering Brexit, but victory this week would only be the start. To finish the job on his terms, he'll have to complete a trade deal in record time. It's not impossible if both sides agree to compromise, but most trade experts believe the Prime Minister will again have to contemplate no deal or break another promise and seek an extension.